What's up everyone, welcome to NTWANfc. In today's video we're going to talk about the new eFootball update. As usual, we have a new pack and there is a new campaign, also the Halloween campaign starting today. And let's see here what we got. A disappointing one, I guess. No coins here for the login bonus over the next 2 weeks. You can get some various items and some GPs. A little bit of an underwhelming one we're gonna see here with this update. You get a free chance deal. Of course, it is Milan AC. We have the event with Milan AC where you can qualify for the World Finals, and they're giving you a few highlight players, 4 highlight players to be precise. And here we have the European Club Attackers, the new epic pack here with Luis Suarez with the Liverpool jersey, Pavel Nedved and Nedved Morientes. So let's have a look at these players here. Luis Suarez, 102 rated, momentum dribbling and a low screamer. Kind of an unusual choice here for the player skills. No phenomenal finishing for him. A little bit disappointing. Perhaps momentum dribbling, even though he's not the greatest dribbler. Low screamer, not sure exactly how that is going to be better for him. That phenomenal finishing, it would have been better for him to get momentum dribbling and phenomenal finishing. I'm not sure why they did that, but let's have a quick look here at this card. 89 rated here, and he has a little bit more speed and more dribbling than the Barcelona card that came out a little while ago here. First booster shooting, second booster if you're gonna get this guy. Striker instinct is going to be the one you're looking for here. Player skills, double touch, soul control, momentum dribbling, long range curler, rising shot, long range shooting, low screamer, attack, acrobatic finishing, one-time shot, outside curler. So you want to give this guy the flip-flap here. He has 2 of the skills needed for the double touch level 3. You add flip-flap to that and he's going to be able to do that. I would add the fighting spirit, perhaps a one-touch pass, and other than that, I think he has a lot of the important skills. Perhaps you could go and make his dribbling a little better by adding some dribbling skills, because he's got that momentum dribbling, but he definitely is missing that phenomenal finishing in my opinion here. So let's have a look at the next one, which I think is actually the best player in this pack, Pavel Nedved. He is really excellent in this game, and now he's got phenomenal finishing and phenomenal pass. So that's going to put him up there along with a few players like Pelé and the latest Wayne Rooney. Now another player with the phenomenal finishing and pass, and we know how effective that skill is. You can succeed in getting this guy to make passes and shots in unusual positions. So let's have a quick look here at the heat map. As you can see here, 88 rated whole player, Pavel Nedved, and some pretty decent stats, high aggression stats here for him. And let's see here, first booster is ball protection, second booster, anything offensive is going to be good for him, whether you're talking about striker instinct, technique, ball carrying, it doesn't really matter. Anything like that is going to be good for him. Let's look at the player skills here. He's got long range curler, rising shot, long range shooting, acrobatic finishing, phenomenal finishing, one-touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, outside curler, and phenomenal pass. So again, fighting spirit is definitely something you're going to give to him. And then I would probably go with a one-time shot, because we know he's very dangerous on the long-range shooting, and you want to take those one-time opportunities with him, and he is really excellent in that exercise. Let's see, what else could you give him here? Perhaps a weighted pass, something like that. Pinpoint crossing could be, he already has that. But weighted pass could be one. And, you know, let's see, low lofted pass could be, if you go on the side with him. I have the edge crossing version, and one thing that he excels at, even though this one is not going to have the edge crossing, is, coming down the flank and then doing these stunning shot crosses. So with the low lofted pass, perhaps it's going to be even better doing that, doing those low lofted crosses in the box. Pavel Nedved, for me, he is the best player in this pack, just because even though Luis Suarez is a higher rated, he doesn't have the skills, he doesn't have phenomenal finishing. So the last one is Fernando Morientes, bullet header Morientes. He probably would have deserved to have a bullet header and phenomenal finishing. Now that makes this card a little bit underwhelming here, that he doesn't have that 86 rated poacher strength as his first booster. If you go with a second booster, give him striker instinct. The skills that he has: heading, bullet header, long range curler, dipping shot, rising shot, long range shooting, acrobatic finishing, heel trick, one time shot, aerial superiority. So he has some of these aerial, domain type of skills, like heading and aerial superiority. No fighting spirit. Once again, fighting spirit for those players that are going to be getting chances to shoot at the goal. You want to give them fighting spirit, because when they are under pressure of the defender, it's going to help them shoot on target, make better shots while under pressure. Let's see here. Well, part of the problem with this guy is that he is not really all that fast, and you're a little bit stuck with a player that's only 186 and that can only do headers, and he's not going to be all that dominant in the air. And because he doesn't have phenomenal finishing here, it's going to make his sort of ground play even worse. And, in my opinion, is not really the card you want to do. So this is not really a great pack, in all honesty, even though they're adding this Luis Suarez in a Liverpool jersey for the first time, and he was excellent in real life when he was playing for Liverpool. This pack, just because there's only Pavel Nedved here that is a standout player, and the players around him are a little bit underwhelming. Fernando Morientes, really not worth it. Luis Suarez, probably not worth it. You would be making this pack just for Pavel Nedved, and you have one chance out of 150 to get him. I think it's better to keep your coins for a pack where you're going to have two players that are at least excellent, or maybe three players in some rare occasions where you have absolute great pack. So let's see here at the rest. We have, of course, the player of the week pack with that very strange Ronald Araujo card, playing as a center forward, even though he's a defender. And the strange heat map here, as you can see, he can play as a central defender, as a right back, and as a striker. Of course, he scored for Barcelona in injury time at the last moment, getting the win for Barcelona. And he's got 90 for the headers, 83 in finishing, but his defensive stats are not all that great. And I think that was the mistake that they made here, because he's not really someone that you can use as a starter in your defense. It would have been more interesting to have this guy be an excellent defender, like defensive stats in the 90s, and then have a finishing stat in the high 80s, and then have the ability, when you're losing, to play all-out attack and have Ronald Araujo come up the pitch to try to score that goal, being a defender, striker, type of role. And the problem here is because he's not that good in defense, you can't really play him as a defender. And because he's not that good in offense, you can't really play him as striker. So there's really no point in getting this card, even though it could have been a great card if they had made him actually a very good defender, or at least a defending player as the base level card was, and then adding some of those finishing stats. Let's see, and he has the super sub, so you can have this guy come in, but really there is no point. If you're losing, then you're gonna want to put in some offensive players, not a defender that then is going to go up the field to try to score. That would be more for your starting defender when you want to play all-out attack in the last minutes. So who else is there here in that pack? We got Mason Greenwood, we got Maguire also scoring the winning goal against Liverpool at the last game here. And you see, he has much better defensive stats than Ahoho. And he doesn't have good finishing stats, though. I don't know why they decided to make this card like that. It doesn't really make all that sense. So who else? Barella, we got Leao, and Suzuki here. Interesting one. But, now, as of late, these Player of the Week card, they're becoming less and less interesting, really. First of all, they're not all that good, and then they make these sort of weird choices. They don't have that many player skills. They could add like 2 player skills to some of these cards, but they are deciding not to do it. So in the rest here, we still have Iniesta. We have this new Milan AC pack with a few highlight players that you can get for free. And that is pretty much it for the players that have been added. There is a new pack here, Milan AC. Of course, if you're going to do the Milan AC event and you need some Milan AC player, this could be a decent choice here. So you have all these players that you can get, and they're going to be pretty decent. They're probably going to go all to like around 100 or something like that. And we have Allegri, a new coach here, long ball counter 89, long ball 89, offensive awareness +9, and ball control +9. And he's got that link up play, the aggressive crossing. So same as Amorim. Let's see here, you need a cross specialist, you need a poacher. And when you're going to cross that ball, your poacher is going to try to put himself in front of the defender. Decent one, I guess, here. But if you don't really need these players, I would say you probably can skip this pack as well. I think this over-the-top pass is a little better than the crossing one. So what else here do we have? We have daily game penalty here. Let's do this penalty. You can now move once again 9 spots if you succeed. Let's see if we can score here. Yes, we can. And we're going to see here 8 spots remaining here, and we're going to go all the way and clear that. We are back now with the 50% bonus in this penalty game. So make sure you log in to be able to complete this penalty game. And let's see here in the store, there is nothing new here. The new objectives, the Halloween campaign here, you can get, of course, these Milan AC chance deals. There's 50 coins here on the first week. There's going to be 50 coins, and next week here, if you complete the objectives here, there is 200 coin once you clear 10 objectives, and a total of 300 coins for this Halloween campaign. A pretty underwhelming one here. If we look at this this graphic here, as you can see, the only thing that you get, usually there's this huge boards with all the goodies that you can get by playing the game, and here is just 4 cards, 300 coins, and a couple of props, and that's it for 2 weeks. So really not not that great. And compared to the previous years where the Halloween campaign, usually it was pretty good. You could get a lot of stuff by logging in. Here, not that much. I don't know why they're making the gameplay has been terrible, the servers are terrible, and now the rewards are becoming terrible. So they're not giving you any incentive really to come and play this game. I don't know what they're doing. The Milan AC event here that is going on this week, and of course you can qualify for the world finals if you are one of the top players in the world, basically. 3 rounds as usual. First round was against AI, second round against PvP, and a third round is going to be next week. Event where you're gonna have to grind the game over the weekend and play as many games as you can. On this second round here, you can get 50 coins by qualifying for the third round. And in the event category here, we have for this PvP, it is the unlimited event. You can use your team. For the tour event, it's going to be European clubs. You have a special tour event here where you can get booster, a skill, and a position token with the partner clubs. And the latest edition, and perhaps the most interesting part of this Halloween campaign here, is going to be this challenge here. It is the XP explosion. You get 50x on the XP for your players. So if you have a bunch of players that you need to level up in your squad, this is probably going to be the most interesting event from this campaign. And you're going to be able to level up all those players that you got. So if you kept the highlight players that they have been giving you over the last few months, and you have them at the bottom of your club, they're not leveled up, you can level them up and then erase them and get the GPs. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So keep in mind, this XP explosion is going to be perhaps the most interesting thing of this Halloween campaign. So that is it, guys, for this update here of eFootball. An underwhelming one for a midweek update. Probably not much is going to happen this weekend. We're going to have to wait a couple of weeks, I think, before we see anything of substance added to the game, because next week is going to be the second part of this Halloween campaign, and then in 2 weeks now we're going to have a new campaign, and perhaps it's going to be a better one. Let's hope, at least. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.
Hit me with that like, and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell. Click that little right. The algo recommends, for she don't like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell.